Hello there, and I welcome you once again to another segment on Citizen Dialogue here on First Next News Port Harcourt. I am Kings Ojalo. But first, let's look at our headlines. Our election rigging is already planned. PDP spokesman Omomobok reviews. INEC set to test 2026 Electoral Act in FCT Council polls state by elections. Rivers Assembly Halts impeachment proceeding against Fubara. We'll be going on a short break, and when we return, we will dive straight into our various headlines and analyze them one after the other. Sit back, relax, while we come back. Welcome back. Joining me to analyze these top stories is no other person but our in-house analyst by the name Ugochukwu. It's good to have you on set once again, Ugochukwu.
Kings, good morning or afternoon or wherever they're watching us from all over the world. Warm welcome to another set today on our discussions of monitoring what is happening in Nigeria. Nigeria is a theater of drama, as always say.
You've come again with the theater of drama.
With the theater of drama.
Describing
because,
Nigeria, a theater of drama.
Yes, if you look at all that is going on in Nigeria, you find out that the Igbo people will say Chiba Anodo. That is, each day has a new face of news.
I really like that dialect of the Igbo.
We are here. Welcome, Rivers people, Nigerians, and all those who follow First Next News on all different social media platforms.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Ugochukwu. Now let's dive straight to our various headlines, looking at the critical issues affecting the system. Now we'll be starting with the election rigging accusation by the PDP spokesman, saying the PDP publicity secretary by the name Ine Omemobong, has alleged that the Electoral Act 2026 contains well-choreographed provision, assigned to facilitate rigging in 2027. Now, he stated something which he said there's a systematic compromise of the INEC, which he said that the party has alleged that the APC has already begun planting its members as polling officials to compromise the INEC system. That is what the spokesperson of the PDP is saying, that that APC has plotted, individuals in the INEC institution, to make sure this rigging plan is being carried out successfully. Do you really buy to that, accusation from the PDP spokesperson?
Ojalo, the question will be here: which of the PDP is it? The PDP loyal to FCT Minister Wike, or the one that is Turaki-led faction?
Yeah, the Turaki-led faction.
That is where PDP has found themselves. Because when you talk about PDP these days, people will now ask you which of the PDP
faction, because they are divided.
Yes, PDP is a house that is divided, and as far as the 2027 general elections, they cannot stand. I've said it severally that PDP may bounce back, or will bounce back after 2027, because if you have an enemy within, you wouldn't know where to fight.
But you can't be certain about that, because the current chairman, that is the Turaki faction, has stated countless number of times that they have plans towards coming 2027 general elections. So you can't stand the fact that there's no hope for them.
Ojalo, we have been in this game for a long time to know what happens. When some of us speak, we speak from the position of knowledge. And politics is about, the precedents already been set. The PDP are talking about Turaki saying that PDP will be on the ballot and doing everything to be on the ballot. I don't think Turaki is being truthful to himself, because PDP is still in litigations. Because the Electoral Act clearly states that any party that is divided at the national cannot stand for any election, because which of the secretaries will be the one signing the documents and the expression of interest form for candidates of the political party. But in the FCT and other by-elections that will be taking place across the country, that PDP will not be on the ballot together with Labour Party. Because of those divisions, they are clearly stated that when you have national division in the party, who signs the document recognized by INEC is the party secretary. So Anyanwu is with the Wike faction, and the National Congress held in Oyo State, Ibadan, which was set aside by the court, organized by the faction loyal to the Oyo State governor, Sheyi Makinde, is neither here nor there. So that is why I'm telling you on good authority. And that's why I made mention that when there is enemy within, the enemy within is that the ruling party has planted people to destroy a PDP, or make sure that PDP is not given a political oxygen to breathe for 2027 general elections.
Now,
so that is what we are saying. So when the spokesperson of PDP, the Toraki faction, is saying that INEC and the ruling party had already planned on how to rig the election. Is it the election they are going to participate as a coalition, or the one that PDP is going to stand on the ballot? So, and if the opposition has already discovered that the ruling party or the INEC has already connived or in collusion, according to T.Y. Danjume, to form an alliance with APC, because he who plays the piper dictates the tune. So if they have discovered this or uncovered this grand plan, what should they do? They should match APC and INEC to their own game by having their own plan on how to counter whatever measure or whatever plans, that APC may be having with the INEC, but not sitting by and only complaining. At the end of the day, those plans will work out, and they will tell you to go to court. So the the best form of defense is attack.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Ugochukwu. Now moving straight to another headlines, to another development where the Independent National Electoral Commission, which is the INEC, has confirmed it will conduct the February 21, 2026 FCT Area Council election and state by-election under the newly assigned Electoral Act 2026. Now, this exercise is being viewed as a litmus test for the new legal framework and strategic for the 2027 general election. Now, recalling that the president has signed the newly mandated Act of Election, and also the INEC are so curious on taking a bold step to practice this act on the council election in Abuja. What's your take on that, Ugochukwu? Well,
the Electoral Act was an act as of Tuesday and Wednesday, but now it is electoral law, because Mr. President has signed it into law. So it is now an authentication, and it has become a legal framework for which INEC will use in conducting the 2026-2027 general elections. So the litmus test, as Amupiten or the spokesperson of INEC have said, I don't agree, Ojalo. You know the reason? FCT that has only 6 local councils, and what is the geographical size and population of FCT, and recall that majority of the people in FCT are not going to vote, because most of them must have registered in their states.
Yeah, but I'm about to on that is the chairman of the INEC institution has made some remark and also some demonstration on how to tackle corruption Act in that process. He made mention of no chance for buying
vote buying,
and he also he has also merged with some agencies like the ICPC and the EFCC to monitor the affair of that practices.
Those things are normal political rhetorics. I always tell you that. That statement he made is just like a new IG coming on board and saying that dismantle roadblocks. Whereas that's Nigeria, where the chain of command will not get down to the officers serving in the hinterlands. So he can come up, copy from what other INEC chairmen have said, but I'm telling you for free that if they want to test run, if he had, like he said before, that they will conduct a mock presidential election. That is what he should stick to. Not telling the generality of Nigerians of over 250 million people with 36 states, although we have about 5 or 6 states that conduct off-cycle election. How did he fare? He has not given us the report of how beavers and the real-time transmission and all those things fed in Anambra State, which is the last governorship election we conducted. Yes. So you cannot come out insulting the sensibility of Nigerians that you are going to use FCT. Abuja only 6 local councils to test run the new Electoral Act. And after doing it, the new electoral law, and after doing it, you now tell Nigerians
that it was successful.
That when it's successful in Abuja, the Nigerians should go and sleep. That it is Uhuru. That there is no infraction, the real-time transmission, that the network was excellent. When you have not tried it in Borno, you have not tried it in Zamfara, you have not tried it in Bauchi, you have not tried it in Kebbi and Katsina State, where we have the rural areas and where we have ungoverned spaces
and where
that are being controlled by non-state actors.
Unfunctionable, networks.
So that is it. But recall that it is this same INEC committee that made a survey before the 2023 general election that told us that 90% of the Nigerian electoral wards have been covered by network. But what happened when you have 93% out of 100 and there is 7% of failure? It is a pass. It is an A. So I don't believe, I am not in the shoes of the people that will believe that the new Electoral Act, its functionability and its success will be confirmed or attested to by the conduct of a mere local government election, which is, if it's in a state level, it is conducted by the SEX. But because Abuja jurisdiction is under the federal, that is why INEC is conducting it. And you're not telling us, Nigerians, that are opposing to whatever you have passed in the electoral law, that you are going to use Abuja. I mean, this is a slap. This is taking Nigerians for granted. This is uncharitable for Professor Amupiten, as far as Nigerians are holding him on the high esteem, to say that he was going to use a mere council election to test run what will happen in a general election comprising of the electing the president of Nigeria, members of the National Assembly, and the governors, and even House of Assembly members. I mean, this is what we see in Nigeria when people who are not competent are given offices. My last thought is that I don't accept what he said, that we have to test run the new electoral law with the FCT
council post. Okay, thank you so much. Now let's dive into our last discussion for today. Ugochukwu. Now, let's come back to Rivers State, where the State House of Assembly officially halted impeachment proceedings against Governor Similare Fubara and the Deputy Governor Ngozi Odo on February 19, 2026. Now, this decision was followed a decisive intervention by the President Tinubu to resolve the state's protracted political crisis. Now, looking at the new development in Rivers State, now I think with this augment, we will see stability in the political affairs of Rivers State. I think impeachment proceedings has been going on for quite a long time, affecting the administration of the dear governor of Rivers State. Now, looking at this ultimate from the State House of Assembly, what do you think, might be the fate of Rivers people with this current news? Ugochukwu, over to you.
I really love the way you put it. It's an ultimatum. It is not a halting of impeachment proceedings. Mm-hmm. It is something that you said they laid the cat before the governor. If you don't do this, we do this. That is not how to reconcile. There's nothing like reconciliation.
Okay, the agreement that follows.
Whatever agreement they had, even ab initio, I told whoever cares to listen that when they said there was an agreement, there was peace agreement that led to the governor coming back after the emergency rule declaration. I said I didn't see Edison here, who is the chief of staff, who was a member of the House, that resigned, and the Okojombo, Sakare Good Boy Sokare, and the one other mayor, that 4 of them that sided the governor, that I didn't see them in the House, that this reconciliation for me is a piece of the graveyard. And true to what I said, before you knew it, the whole peace deal was blown out of proportion.
And the shocking part is this marks the about 3rd time the assembly, is stepping back from impeaching, the governor, since the crisis began in 2023. You understand?
Yes.
And what do you think, even with this halting impeachment process, do you think, another occurrence like this will happen again, even in the future?
No, it is within the hands of the governor and the deputy to either accept the orders they have dished out to them. I watched and listened to Martin Samehule. You cannot see a sitting governor, what do you call it, Speaker of the House of Assembly, who is the 3rd person, who is overseeing only a microzonic constituency, giving orders to a to the office of a governor. I mean, what is happening in Rivers State political crisis, the political imbroglio they find themselves in is very shameful to say the least. Because no matter the states where we have seen governors fall out with their godfathers or members of the House of Assembly, I have not seen any governor in history that have been so insulted as Seminary Fubara.
Yeah, but he has said this countless number of times that, he decided to, be so calm, for the well-being of Rivers State.
But how the question will be,
it doesn't affect
the question will be, what is the developmental
And he also said this loudly when he went to Lagos recently for an award. He said, he had to be calm so that, the crisis does not affect the welfare of Rivers people.
Assuming the position of peace does not mean that you'll be a coward. You shouldn't be a coward. The office of the governor is an exalted office. I don't know if you are aware, when the likes of Wike was on seat and the likes of Amechi, the governor's forum was very biting. They threatened the powers of the federal states. The President Olusegun Obasanjo listened to them. Jonathan listened to the governor's forum and dreaded them more than any other group in Nigeria. So what has happened to these people is that they are standing on the mandate that will collapse. When all of them had been cowed, I don't know whether they are being brainwashed or whatever they are being told to succumb to the antics of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in order to collapse their powers of the office of the governor. Whatever the constitutional powers of the office of the governor have been usurped by the federal, which is very, very unfortunate. How can a sitting governor be a push and start? He is only reactionary. A governor, when Wike was here, Wike held Buhari to ransom. Wike used the office of the governor here to make the whole noise. And the kind of influence he is wearing in Nigeria now, he got it through the seat of the governor, who was Wike. So Governor Seminary Fubara has allowed himself for a mere, Speaker of the House of Assembly
to kind of take control.
To be dishing orders to the governor, saying that the governor should not try to, I'm not saying that the governor should act in contravention of the Constitution. But it is not in the place of the speaker
to now
give orders. You could see the tenacity with which Martin Samuel was speaking to the governor,
Yeah.
the office of the governor and deputy governor. That means the governor is totally in a position of weakness and disadvantage. The governor, as I speak to you, the Rivers people should not expect anything from the remaining few years of Senator Fubara, because from what the speaker said, very denigrating about the office of the governor, I don't think that anything will come out. Kings, the Rivers people should go and watch the speech of Martin Samuel, the Speaker of the House, to the office of the governor, directing the governor that any breach of this particular agreement again, which agreement? Agreement you enter that's a political agreement that is not constitutionally known to the law, just for selfish reason, that the governor should honor it to the detriment of the development, the future, and you see in Rivers State, the roads are impassable. When rain drops in Rivers State, everywhere is flooded. We're not talking about now that we have taken over from Aba. From Aba that used to be the dirtiest city in Nigeria,
But there are
or even
some
in
ongoing constructions going on.
Saharan Africa. Which construction? The construction that was stalled, ring road that was stalled for 6 months. The governor came. What is the governor doing to fast track the completion of those things? And the Transcribary Road. What about the Songhai farm? What about creating useful and employment that have retirement benefits for the Rivers youth? What are the condition of the pensioners? You recall before Abbas left, he gathered the whole retirees in Rivers State, camped them in Port Harcourt and was cooking for them. After going through that verification exercise, now Fubara is calling for another verification exercise. The local governments are coming for another verification exercise. The governor has said that he wants to renovate the state secretariat. And we ask, is there any plan B? Is there any plan the governor have set out where you can have makeshift office for administrative continuity? The answer is no. So the governor, in my view, is getting what he bargained for. Because the governor has been so quiet and docile to a fault that somebody like only, in other states, finally, in other states, it is the governor that organizes the impeachment or removal or who constitutes
the speaker,
the House leadership.
I key to that.
But even in Abuja, can Ababio sit down and be talking to Tinubu? Even Tinubu that has been in the midst of this political quagmire in Rivers State, flaming it, everything. Martin Samuel did not say anything about Rivers people. He said that because Mr. President have intervened. So if Tinubu have not intervened, that means the governor will not be there. Somebody that had the mandate of the people. Then finally, there is nothing good that will come from the intervention of Mr. President. I tell Rivers people. Do you know why? Mr. President is also in the category of appointing people who becomes governors in Lagos State. And when he fell out with Ambode, what happened? Did Ambode return? So he is making Mwike a monster in politics in Rivers State. But we have had other governors. So Mr. President is enabling Mwike through the House of Assembly, to hold Rivers people to ransom. But at the end of the day, Rivers people will hold them to account.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that, Ugochukwu. Honestly, your analysis has really speak all. Thank you so much for being with us, viewers. And once again, Ugochukwu, I really appreciate your emphasis.
In appreciating me, I want to say one thing last, that the INEC chairman who is talking about what will happen in FCT pools, he will also monitor Wike, the FCT minister, who has said that anybody who is not supporting Mr. President in that local council election will not win. We want to know the strategy and what is giving him the nerves to say that. So if they were not able to counter those moves that will render that election ineffective, then Putin and INEC will have a lot of questions to answer from Nigerians.
Thank you so much for your last word, Ugochukwu. Thank you so much for being with us. Subscribers, many thanks for being with me. I am Kings Ojalo, your very host on this segment. Many thanks for being with me. It's a bye for now.